Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and I have with me the wonderful band known as Rio. Hello guys, thank you for joining me today.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of met, did a reaction, we kind of got talking. I sent out the invitation to you guys. You guys gladly accepted. So here we are, and yeah, we'll start from the beginning. And for those that maybe don't know who you are, do you guys want to like just introduce yourselves just individually and give us a little fun fact about each of you?
Oh, I think me starting. Yeah. Hello. This is Rio from Rio. This is Rio from Rio. It's difficult to introduce myself, but hi, I'm Rio, and I'm the lead singer and songwriter for this band. And I moved to the UK 3 years ago, and I'm living in the UK, and also actually I'm in space now. So yeah, I watch you
Recently
guys.
discovered.
Yeah, I watch you guys from the Earth. Yeah. Hmm? No, from the space. Sorry. Okay. Go on. Go on. Next person, please.
Jay, go.
Okay. So I'll go next because I'm second most important. Okay,
Mm.
cool. Thank you. Hi, everybody. This is Jay, the noisy one that's always in the background. Thanks for seeing us. Yeah, absolutely shattered. We did a show yesterday, so forgive me if I look a little bit tired and withdrawn. That's just because of that, and I stupidly didn't go to bed until about 4 o'clock this morning because I was so wired. And then I got up at 7 o'clock to take the dogs out for a walk and then start cooking Sunday lunch. So, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Who's next? Go on, let's put James under the
Go on,
microscope.
James.
Yeah, good, James.
Hi, I'm James. I am not good enough to be a guitarist, so I play bass. And I write a lot of the lyrics with Rio in the band as well. That's it. Like Jay, I'm really tired after our show yesterday. So if you just see me quietly sitting here sipping on my tea, that is why. I'm trying to wake up. Still.
Yeah.
Go
You
on,
look like.
Alex.
Sorry.
Mm.
Huh? No. I just said you look like old today.
Wow. Thanks.
Okay, go on.
Fair enough.
Oh, I'll take that. Jesus. Fuck.
Go on, Alex.
Okay, so hello, I'm Alex. I'm the guitarist from Rio. I recently joined the band. It was like 3 months ago. So yeah, still have to get used to everything, but yeah, so far so good. Having a lot of fun. Yesterday gig was pretty cool. As everybody else, I'm a bit tired by being pretty lazy today, so that's good.
I sense a running theme of the band just chilling out the next day as soon as you play. Is that it? It's like we're gonna rock out and then we're gonna spend the whole next day recovering.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, I was lucky enough that the kids were out, so I came home to an empty house. So for once in my life, I actually got a chance to kind of get home and just put the TV on loud, and then spend most of the morning listening to loud music and checking out Limp Bizkit's new song as well, really loud around the house. So I was a happy bunny this morning. So
Wait, Limp Bizkit have a new song? Hang on.
yes,
Yeah.
bro.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say, even I'm not aware of that.
What?
Bloody
you
hell.
need seriously. People
Hang
wake
on.
up. News
Hang on.
announcement. Limp Bizkit, they got a new track. They dropped it 48 hours ago, I think it was, something like that. I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
All right.
Again, obviously, timeframes may change on the time that you're seeing this video, as a
Yeah.
reference. But yeah, it's fresh, man. You can still smell it. You can
Ooh.
still that chocolate starfish.
And the hot dog flavored water. Love it.
So yeah. Check it out.
All right, so let's start from the beginning. Like, how did you guys kind of like come together? Like, how was like the creation of kind of like Rio formed? How did you guys kind of like mold and create this band?
So this one used to be my solo project, and I was writing and producing by myself when I was in Japan. And so 3 years ago, I decided to move to the UK, I don't say the reason, but yeah, I just decided to the UK. And then
You should say the reason.
Yes.
reason
you
because
You
of
should say the
tea.
reason.
Because of tea.
No, no, no,
Yes.
no, no.
No,
What's
no,
the
no.
actual reason?
Because
Tell
of
the
tea.
truth.
Tell the
Ooh.
truth. Yeah. Tell
Peer
the truth.
pressure.
Peer pressure. Oh God. Oh my God. Yeah, I can feel the peer pressure like from the space. But it was actually I used to be a big fan of Arctic Monkeys. And then, like, and then, he's from Sheffield. I didn't go there, but actually I went there before. But yeah, he's from the UK. They're from the UK, and I decided to move to the UK.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah, but
did
why, Rio?
Yes.
why?
What's the link between Arctic Monkeys and you moving to the UK? Everyone would love to know.
Tell us why.
Oh, okay. So I wanted to get the green card with them, right? Like so.
She's just making shit up now. She just won't say it.
That's how it goes. So how did that you come in from Japan? Like, did you start the band yourself? Like, where was the thought kind of like behind? Like, oh shit, I wanna make this awesome band.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, like I didn't think about like making this project into like a band at the first, but so I have like so many phase. Sometimes like I have a like emo phase. It means like I when like a sick, I went to the corner like cry all day. Sometimes like, I have those days, and sometimes like I have
I
like
have those days too. Don't
yeah,
worry.
yeah. But like yeah, so it's like sometimes like, I was into like emo and heavy songs, and then I was listening to uh like a heavy like songs, and I was like I'm into dark techno,
Hmm.
and so I thought it was like maybe it would be a mixture if I do metal and techno, like a dark techno.
Yeah.
So I decided to look for band members. And James, bass player, I met him when I went to a studio with my older band members. And we were talking about what is it? Cyberpunk project. But I was actually maybe like we can turn this project into cyberpunky but like a heavy project. And so like we decided, and like he after like all the members left the project, he came to join. And Jay is I found his advertisement on Join My Band. And I found him. I
Yeah.
think I found him. Yeah. And also like
Out of a mixer of a lot of people.
what do you mean?
Well, the interview process was very unique. I'd never actually, to be honest, had a interview to join a band before or try out to be in a band. So when I turned up at the studio, obviously I think we had like was it like an hour or two or something like that?
Yeah,
Not
it was
even
an
that.
audition.
Yeah, it was an audition. So well, yeah, it was probably no
It's
more
about,
than an hour.
it's about half hour after you set up, if that.
Yeah, so obviously, well, from that, obviously, you can say if that's the attitude that I get from my so-called bass player, my loving buddy in music. So
No,
obviously,
normally is that it?
yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So anyway, can I carry on my story? Part of this chapter. Thank you, bro.
You may continue.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
So obviously, we're doing the session. There is love there, really, in the background. As we're coming towards the end of the session, we played a couple of tracks, got chatting, and then I think they then dropped onto me that we've got another drummer coming in who'll be here shortly. So it was a case of as I was like packing down, this guy's walking in, and I'm just like awkward. So anyway, obviously I packed down and we did the typical, we'll contact you, don't contact us, and we'll let you know. So I must have made an impression because by the time I actually got back home, I think we did like session in Reading, and I drove back to Maidenhead, which is about half hour or so. They obviously started messaging me, and they said, thanks for coming. And then obviously we'll let you know how things go in time frame. So I was like, okay, cool. 2 minutes later, I get another message saying, do you want to join the band? So I obviously did leave an impression, or just the fact that the other auditions were just really bad and I was the best of a bad bunch. So, but I'll take that, every goal's a win and all the rest of that. So yeah, that's my part of the story.
Yeah. Like even though like I messaged him for the first time, he didn't reply to me for 1 month.
No, I didn't actually. I forgot about that. Yeah. I think again, that was best intentions that I did have, but again, at the time I was like in between bands where I was leaving one and did I want to join another one and all the rest of that. So yeah, there is an excuse somewhere for that.
Absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Now that I know you, it's hard enough for you to actually get a straight answer out of a simple thing like, "Hey, dude, you're free on this day." Oh yeah, well, I might be free on the dates around it, but I'll check the calendar. I'll check the calendar. About a week. Are you free, mate? Oh yeah. Should have done that. Yeah.
But at least if I give you a thumbs up on a message on WhatsApp, that means yes, it's confirmed.
No. No, it doesn't. It's 50-50 with you.
Through my head, that's right. No, sorry, I meant a smiley face emoji, not a thumbprint. Sorry, my bad.
My favorite thing that I've come to know Jay for is the fact that first you have to remind him to do like for lots of things, but the fact that he'll read it and in his head he's like, yeah, I've confirmed that. Hasn't fucking told anyone, but he just read it.
So
and he's like, we all know what that means.
So this band needs like psychic skills. Otherwise, like we can't communicate.
100%. I mean, there definitely is some kind of language barrier to a degree, but again, it is funny and quite comical sometimes because I could say something to Rio and she'll say, "What toothpaste?" and I'm like, "What? No, I said the beat's gone off," and she's like, how's that going on? But just stupid stuff. But anyway, yeah, I digress.
What about you, Alex? Being the last one to join, how did that come about for you?
So I was, I think it was James that found me somewhere. I don't remember where, because I started putting
Facebook of all places.
Facebook. Okay.
Facebook.
People still use Facebook?
Yeah, I try to use like anything. Join my band. I just try to avoid Gumtree because, like, of course.
Yeah.
People still use Gumtree?
I have no idea. I don't want to find out, to be honest with you. But yeah, let's say that like I'm based in London, so pretty far away from Maidenhead. And the thing about London is that it's a great place for music in general, but for bands, it's really difficult. It's super hard to find band members. It's super hard to find people who are good musicians, good people, reliable, and willing to put the effort on building something, because building a band takes time.
Yeah.
And I've been through so many failed projects and like random people that like seem to be like super enthusiastic and then disappear for whatever reason. So I was really struggling. I've been struggling finding the right people to work with, like for quite a few years actually. Since the pandemic, where things got like a little bit better, I tried to, get in touch with like so many people, so many bands, and it was so hard. I was like posting ads anywhere. So, so I was pretty frustrated. And then, James wrote me. And at the beginning, it was like the beginning of the audition was like through, file exchange. So I tried to come out with guitar parts on a couple of tracks they sent me just to, see what I was capable of, like, especially songwriting.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rio as a project is like very songwriting based. It's not like about how fast you can shred on guitar. It's not that. It's about songwriting. It's about the structure. It's about being careful of having the right sound on the right part, etc. So yeah, the first two tracks were pretty fun to work on, and then we met for the proper audition. I think we jammed 3 songs, if I remember well.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Yeah,
3 or 4.
3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I made a decent impression, so here I am.
Nice, nice. Tell me about the band name then, because obviously Rio. How did that come about? The obvious reason is obviously the lead singer. Then nobody calls the band after the bassist. So how did that? How did that?
Wow.
How did that stick? It's a compliment, mate. It should be the Jameses.
Unironically, when we were looking for a guitarist, we did have someone called James who did audition as well. So
Yeah.
it would have been very amusing. Hi, I'm Rio. James.
No.
You would have been 2/5 of the way there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Rio would have had to change the name by default and then just have done with it.
No, because if we found another guitar player, James, I think I'm gonna change my name like a James.
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna make like JSO Brothers. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 4J.
Yeah. Full JSO Brothers.
Sounds like a barbershop.
What do you say? The original one was RIO, like I used like a Danish O because it seems cool. But it was actually difficult to search. And I asked my brother, like, do you have any ideas for my project? He's like, what about this? And he said, I was like, that's so cool. And I had to his like idea.
So really, it's actually a really cool logo. I actually really like it. It snaps quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, it's cool. But like some people think like RE column 0. Or maybe like a rail because RE is rail, yeah.
So
yeah.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
Mhm.
I must admit, the first time I ever saw your logo, the first thing that popped into my head was Resident Evil 0.
You are not the first person to say that. And you will not be the last. And then when someone pointed out to me, as a massive Resident Evil fan, I was like, oh my God, I love it even more. It's so good.
There actually is another one as well, and I don't know if anybody's noticed it, but if you look at like we got a line of merchandise, t-shirts, black and white ones, and they offset colors. If you actually look at it, it looks almost like the Oreo.
Oreo?
Oreo, yeah.
I didn't even notice that until you said it.
So some people at work when they want to kind of dig at me and they said, oh, we've checked out your new Oreo song, and I'm like, shut up. Or if I'm wearing the t-shirt around the office like, oh, you like Oreos? I'm like, dude, seriously.
I know a couple of people that went to your gig last night, so I'm going to ask now if anybody's got any pictures of the Oreo t-shirt I can flash up on screen.
We should really contact Oreo and see if they want to do anything, or if they would be offended if we did like a little campaign. Just sat there, just eating Oreo biscuits in our t-shirts.
So I know that's where your guys' head's going to, but one of my dogs is also called Oreo. So I'm just thinking, what's my puppy got to do with this band?
Oh my God!
And she's a nightmare, absolute nightmare.
So I want to try and tackle like a little bit individually before we go more into the band here a little bit. And I just want to ask kind of what you guys like your own kind of like personal influences were, like kind of like as a musician, like what kind of like inspired you to play?
Okay, Alex Toto.
Me first. Okay. So the two musicians that inspired me to start playing the guitar are, first of all, Brian May from Queen, and second, Slash from Guns N' Roses. And yeah, then like my taste went a little bit like my taste in music went more into metal, hardcore, punk, and stuff like that. I would say my main influences are Rage Against the Machine for sure, Fear Factory, Pantera. Those three names, like in my guitar style. And then yeah, I've been studying guitar like for many years, so I had to, get very familiar with like the great guitar virtuoso, Vi Satriani, Gilbert, blah 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 blah, and many different genres. But yeah, my heart is more into like metal, punk, and hardcore. Hardcore probably mainly.
Hi, James.
Huh, all right. I'm going to get real for a second, so I apologize for that. So I didn't get into music till quite late into, I guess, my life. So I wasn't until I was about 18. I really picked up the bass, and it wasn't because of musical influence. It's because I was going through a very dark period of my life where I was technically homeless. And I got to a point where I was like, I need to do something before I seriously harm myself. And I walked into a music store when I was working a job. I was getting paid by £2.50 an hour at the time, and saw a bass of 50 quid, picked it up. And in buying that, I didn't get to eat for 2 days, but through studying it and playing it in this apartment with no water and no electricity that I was in at the time, stopped me doing something very silly. So that's where that came from. And then from there, the progression of music and love actually came about. So as these guys will absolutely crucify me for saying, one of my biggest favorite bands and probably the biggest fanboy I am of is Breaking Benjamin. And when I was a young teenager, they were one of the first bands that got me into the kind of alternative music scene along with Linkin Park. So the bassist Mark Toplewski from their original lineup, and the way that he was very clever in intertwining the bass underneath the two guitars and adding so much whilst not what's the term? Not just playing the root notes, was a massive influence in my playing style. And then from there, that developed into bands like Tool, Justin Chancellor, fucking genius. Love that man. But that also got me looking, as I got more and more into music and started studying more and more, along the lines of looking at other genres like James Jamerson. Amazing bass player. Victor Wooten, a man that I can only aspire to be that good at slapping. And it kind of just spiraled from there. So when I got into writing and playing live in bands, I found early on in lots of other bands, they were like, you're the bass player, you're playing those root notes. And a lot of them were actually in the early years, I would get kicked out of, because I was like, I don't want to play the root notes. I want to do some fills. I want to do something clever. I want to do something interesting. And then eventually I found this band and I get to do all those things and it's great. So yeah, so the music isn't what got me into playing bass, ironically, but it helped me a lot. So
yeah, I like that answer. I mean, one of the reasons why, like, I really like Western metal and stuff, but one of the I kind of like recently discovered about 5-6 years ago, like the Japanese metal scene. And one of the things you said there was, especially with the bassists not following the root notes and just going,
they're mad. They're fucking incredible. J-pop has some of the most complicated bass lines I've ever come across.
It's
like
so good to listen to.
If I'm fortunate enough to go to Japan one day, I'm going to be showed up by every motherfucker. Every single one of them. They're going to be like, who is this Western guy who can barely play? And I'm like, it's like 20 years of playing, man. Like, Jesus, I'm trying, all right? Like,
go on.
Oh, Jay Dodo. Yeah.
Okay. Not necessarily my first instrument. Well, I guess you could call it an instrument, but actually, I don't know if many of the Rio members know this, but my first introduction to music was probably from the age 6, and I was a soprano in a choir, and I used to do that quite a lot, to the point where I carried on into secondary school, done some bits and pieces at the Royal Albert Hall. Done some stuff in like Les Mis as well, which is quite cool, full orchestra. But the real rock and roll came from around the age of, I would say, probably about 9 to 11 when I started raiding my parents' vinyls. Because I'm that old where I remember the vinyl stack and double tape deck stacks with the radio and the equalizers and Pioneer systems and Alba from good old Argos back in the day. You know, I'm 45, 46 this year, so I remember those good old times without mobile phones. So I picked up the guitar from around about age 11. My dad brought home an acoustic one day and I just started plucking around with it. And then I wanted to have lessons. But this guitar at the time, I'm not exactly a tall person. I'm about 5'7" on a good day, maybe 5'5" the rest of the day. So I got my first electric about 12. I did that at school, learned a couple of songs, and obviously around that time, you know, Guns N' Roses, as Alex was saying, Nirvana, you know, that kind of grunge scene was growing, and I was brought up in that environment. So yeah, anything like that. Learned a couple of chords, nailed "Smells Like Teen Spirit." Who can't? When that first came out, and then the drummer, who was one of my friends, he wanted to learn guitar because he really liked Oasis. And I said to him, I said, I can teach you to play chords, but I'm not teaching you how to play Oasis songs. So you're gonna have to do that yourself.
Good man.
Yeah, right. You got to set boundaries sometimes. So we did a trade-off. He was learning drums, I was learning guitar. So we did I'll teach you a couple of chords. You tell me what I should be doing, how I should be holding the sticks and patterns and stuff like that. But I played guitar probably up until my late 20s and then kind of stopped. And I stopped singing when I was around about 18 because my voice completely changed. And a bit like Lenny, I was drinking far too much Jack Daniels and drinking and smoking Winston cigarettes at the time throughout the college years. So that just completely killed my voice. So I thought, right, just play guitar, do the rhythm side and do that. Drum wise, was always there, but it was never a big thing for me throughout the years. But it wasn't until I'd probably say about 20 years. So probably around about my late 20s, mid to late 20s, when I started playing drums a bit more. And I started buying my own drum kit in bits and pieces because it was just like a side project.
Yeah.
And then I guess when obviously I had a full kit and I had all the cymbals, I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. And yeah, so it's I'll probably say about 21 years now. I've been playing it more professionally as my main instrument. I mean, I've obviously still got my guitar, my keyboard, and stuff like that I play around with. But yeah, drums will always be the main part of my life until I get too old and I can't pick up a stick because my arthritis has finally kicked in. Yeah, that will always be there. And then I maybe just start like singing old like karaoke songs and fade out into the ether.
Now, what was it like for you, Rio? Because I imagine growing up in Japan, if I'm correct, that must have been a totally different scene for you over there.
Yeah, so first thing, I know it sounds silly, but so when I was in mom's womb, she was playing like Mozart, like a classic music, because like she thought, if if you play like a classical music to the baby, they grow up, they grow up like a okay genius or like maybe they want to be like they are so smart, so like they can be like a doctor. She thought that. That's what she believed.
So what happened?
It failed. No, it failed. She always like, why are you trying to be a musician? Like, why? Like, she always says that. Yeah, so it failed. Anyways, so when I was a kid, like 5 years old, uh, so my parents want me to play like a piano. So like I went to a piano school. I didn't like it. I always cried because I didn't practice, and the teacher is like, why do you practice? Why don't you practice? And I was like, oh my God, this is so, oh my God, this is so hard. And I didn't like it. I didn't like playing piano. And then after that, I was into like a J-rock. So I was listening to maybe LA Garden, um, Baseball Bear, or like some like Japanese indie rock bands. And then So like one day, I went to a bookstore after school. It was like a music magazine. The cover was Arctic Monkeys. And I was like, oh my God. And Alex Turner was really handsome at the time. And and I was like,
Back to the last question.
So Rio, why did
Really
you move
likes
to
the
the
Arctic
UK?
Monkeys,
So
doesn't
Rio,
he?
why did you go to the UK again?
so I had a dream like to get married with him, but it fell too. Anyway, so I was like, oh my God, yeah, he's so cool. He's really cool. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, what is this band? Okay, Arctic Monkeys. And then I went home and like I ran to home and I checked their music on YouTube and I was like, oh my God, their music is so cool. And then I got into indie rock phase. And after that, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to go to school. I'm so sick of people. And I got into emo phase. Yeah. And then like I listened to like Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, Jimmy Eat World, like some like emo bands. Yeah. So like I try to hide from the world. And after that, I was like, um, and also like these like indie rock bands like motivate me to like play the guitar. So I did it, but every time I play the guitar, my fingers are so painful. I didn't like it. So I was playing for 3 months and I stopped it. 1 year later, I started playing. That happens like over and over. And so I tried to be a guitar player, but I couldn't. I wasn't, I'm not a good guitar player. I have the guitar, but I don't play it. And so I got into bands in Japan, but it didn't work. Sometimes like the drama disappear out of the blue. And sometimes like um yeah, sometimes like argue with like band members and it didn't work well. And I was sick of people. So that's why like I started the solo project.
Mm.
And then but I didn't know like how to make music, even though like I know like some music theory, but I didn't know like how to make music. So I watched like so many tutorials on YouTube, like how to make like a dubstep, how to make like a techno. So like I watched it and then I started.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's kind of
So
yeah.
that's a nice story. It's kind of nice to hear like a group like yourselves kind of admit a little bit and say, look, we didn't come into this kind of late. It was a late passion for a lot of you, which is kind of surprising a little bit. But I quite like that. If you were gonna like for anybody that didn't know who you were and you were trying to sell yourselves as a band, how would you describe like your music to them? Like what would you describe Rio to be?
Good question. We still have that discussion every day together.
Even when we're driving to shows like we did yesterday. So how we're trying to like, rewrite our EPK and all the rest of it, and we're like, so what? How are we describing ourselves? Are we describing us as this, that, and we're just like, it's really hard, because obviously the genre itself is very limiting to what you kind of fall into, and when obviously it comes to a band like us, it's very hard because we have no idea what's going to come out of Rio's brain, and then go
Yeah, my
onto the
brain just
back.
scrambled eggs, yeah.
Exactly.
It's
like, no offense to anybody, it's like it's trying to replace like Notre Dame to its original bloody status, and know what's going to happen without any foot plans at all, or any pictures or any knowledge. It's like being beamed back to earth and going, okay, rebuild this from all this jargon. But it's good in a sense because we know sub kind of genres that we fall into.
Yeah.
But again, when you're kind of promoting yourself and stuff like that to other venues, they say, "Oh yeah, you're a metal band. Cool, we'll stick you on with X, Y, Z." Or if you're a prog band, we'll stick you on with these others. And then they go, oh, what band are you? And then you've got about 4 or 5 different genres in your name. They're like, okay, we'll check you out. And then they're like,
too difficult box.
Exactly. Yeah. It's really hard to do, which is kind of one of our downfalls, I guess, if we're truly honest with ourselves to a degree. But again, isn't that what music is about? It's the freedom and the expression of the creativity behind the name and the artist, not to really conform and stick inside any particular box.
Yeah.
So it's difficult, but yeah, I mean, I know some people have referred to us, and I had this discussion with Rio and James yesterday. Some people have referred to us as what was it, J Rock or what? No, what was it? Was it
Japan? Japan Core.
Japan Core.
What people? So yes. So there was a few fans on some of our earlier shows that coined that for us, because they were like, "Oh, you're kind of a mix of like J-pop, dark pop, metalcore, and industrial metal." And we're like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." You know, people have kind of put us in this. You know, they figured it out for us, but I don't really see it like that. It's a nice tag to go, this is what our fans have said, and I love them for it. But realistically, if we have to put it into a box, it's going to be some kind of alternative metal or rock. I personally don't classify us as metal. I don't. The songs aren't heavy. They're heavy, but they're not that heavy. But there's so many pop elements in our music. There's so many techno in some of it. There's so much J-pop in others. It's so hard to categorize. But like we say, it's taking the best of you know, Rio's Japanese heritage, like her J-pop, her dark pop, J-metal, J-rock to some extent, and slamming it with Western-inspired metal and rock on the guitars and stuff. But the box itself to put it in is, if you know, put it in the comments below. I'd love to see it.
I just want to touch on that a little bit, because kind of James actually got onto my next question without even realizing. I was going to say, with Rio's kind of like obviously Japanese heritage, you can see like a lot of the music and a lot of the themes through like, you know, your clips on YouTube, where you lean into that with the artwork and stuff and the AI. Is that like an intentional thing, or do you just kind of like, when you're making the song, is it kind of like, oh, we're doing this, and then like maybe like you lean towards that at the end? Is that like more of a aesthetic thing, or do you think about it when you're making your songs?
I think artwork wise, it was the last lot of recordings that we did, it was very heavily driven by that. So I'm lucky enough to work with an amazing art guy called Colin at my work. He does all the company videos and all the rest side, and I approached him and said, look, I've got 4 tracks, and I actually gave him a picture of Rio as well. And I said, it'd be really cool if, you know anybody, or if you're free, let us know how much it will cost to kind of create some kind of visual, like renditions of her or different scenarios for these songs. So I obviously sent over that picture, and I gave him kind of like a synopsis of each song and what it was about, and the kind of mood and the feel that we were at. And he created like literally all the artwork that we've got for all of our singles, just literally within pretty much one hit. He said, here's a load of images. I think he only did, I might be wrong there, but correct me if I am, but I think we only approached him for Ronin to begin with, the first one, and then which he then gave us like 3 or 4 different images, which pretty much became the images that are for all the 4 singles. So it was really, really nice to have that kind of that connection with somebody that was able to be, you know, quite close to us and help us for that imagery side of things.
Going back to your question, like the Japanese, like for me, the Japanese aesthetic is very important. It's something that we have that separates us from pretty much every other band in the UK at the moment, and it's something that I keep pushing all of us to lean into as much as we can. Because if there's one thing that's happened in modern times, is quite a lot of fans of different music almost splitting themselves off and go, oh, we're not going to associate with that kind of music. We like this only, this only. But with the introduction of bands like Baby Metal over the years, this seems like the Japanese scene's coming more westwards. So I think it's really important to try and break down as many cultural and musical barriers as possible to get as many people who may not have necessarily listened to more J-pop or J-rock artists, or even J-metal artists, into that world, and vice versa. Japanese fans to go, oh, we haven't really delved into Western music before, and then there's this gateway over there as well to try and bring it all together. And I think that's important to me, just for more people to enjoy more broader music and come out and see great shows, but also the visual spectacle of the Japanese heritage. It's gorgeous. Like Japan itself, like the dresses, the culture, everything that goes with it is incredible in its own way, and it's so different to anything in the Western world. I think it's really important to bring it in there, and that's why like a lot of Rio's stage dresses comes from that. A lot of the artwork comes from that direction as well. But looping back to the artwork a little bit, there was, when me and Rio were talking about releasing these new tracks, we did want some continuity from the solo project she had, and there was a running theme of I think they were like pictures you took, right? Originally, Rio, like there were pictures that you silhouetted yourself out of and stuff with like Sora's silhouette and
Yeah, because I was poor.
yeah. We're musicians, of course we are.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like I didn't afford the paying to the artist. I'm trying to like maybe like a job. Like I used to like a draw and paint pictures. I happen to donate like a lady, but I trying. But at the time, I was like recording by myself in tatami. It's like a Japanese floor. Like tatami is like a Japanese floor, and then like a room. Yeah, and yeah, DIY. So
Oh,
because I
nice.
was poor.
Nice. I like that. I like that. I really like the breaking down the like the musical barriers there from James as well. I like that. I think that's a really great idea from you guys. In terms of like I'm sorry, running through my questions here as we're going. In terms of like the songwriting progress for you guys as well, I mean, how's that done? Do you guys start with like lyrics, with riffs, or do you just end up like jamming together? Like, how does like a song sort of begin for you guys?
Wait, where's
Boss.
Rio? Where do I
Yeah,
point?
whichever one's Rio.
Me.
The boss lady.
The
Yeah.
boss lady.
Okay, boss ladies. Hi, I'm boss lady. So, all the ideas come from me. I just like when I have free time, I just like play with it every time, and then something like oh, I make like a cool like a sense line, and I start writing music, and I'll just complete rough demo. So like I put like some guitar, bass, and crazy drum patterns. Yeah, Jay always like a complaint about it. Yeah. Anyways, yeah,
Not recently.
yeah. Because I learned it.
You have progressed, and I don't know if that's because I've been complaining, but Rio at the very beginning had a very healthy view on drums and drums themselves, and that sometimes meant that you had to hit 8 different things at the same time, which technically speaking, I can only do half of because I've only got 2 arms and 2 legs. And as far as I'm aware, unless I'm headbutting something else, that's not possible. But yeah, cut story short, she has learned how to write drums better. But like with anything, like Rio was saying, the demos that are sent out, we review them. We end up sticking them on the Google Drive box.
Google Drive.
On the Tinterweb, and then once you suck them on the line, we'll then obviously listen back. There's an inside joke with that because I always keep getting the drive wrong. I keep calling it Dropbox or some other platform, so that's why I just did that because it's an insight because I know it winds them up. But yeah, it'll either be on WhatsApp, it'll either be on Google Drive. And then that's when we kind of start the kind of collab area or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say what starts off as a demo is not always how it ends up. There's so many ideas that Rio will come out with, and then by the end of it, it's a completely different song. Which that's the writing process. But to be fair, you know, sometimes it's a synth idea, sometimes it's a bass riff, and then Rio's just got hold of it and just written a whole song from it. Because I've done it now. You're like, what the fuck do you mean you've done it now?
I've done your part. Play this.
Well, no, to some extent that is the case. At the end of the day, like a lot of the sound of this band is Rio. It's her ideas. It's how she puts her 101 synth layers on one section of the song, and what comes out is, you know, what you hear, like Crimson Desire, Ronin, Guild. Okay, Guild. Fucking hell, the layers on that. But
ridiculous for layers.
But what tends to happen is where Rio's really good at the synths and the general drive, you know, she won't mind me saying this, where she lacks is the intricacies of the guitar, the intricacies of the drums, the intricacies of the bass. And that's where we all come in. Like, you know, I'm quite fortunate where I have more of an insight nearer the start than the other guys, just from the proximity where I am to Rio. So that allows me early on to go, okay, I see your synth idea. Let's start using the bass as you're going and start hooking it together. And then as it progresses, Jay gets hold of it. We go to Jay's house quite a lot, and then we'll sit there. We'll kind of jam it, program it to an extent to kind of get the feel of it, and then start bringing it to the rehearsal room. And now, since Alex has joined, he's got his own way of writing as well, which I absolutely love, which is him basically going, yeah, I see what you're going for. So if I don't do that, I'm going to do this. And, and to be fair, 9 times out of 10, it's great. Like, I can't complain. He has such a way with his musical knowledge and melodic knowledge that frankly was lacking from the rest of us, because as good as I am with bass lines and rhythms, I'm not very good with melodies. And the same with Jay. As Jay says, he's a drummer. He hits things.
Yeah, I've cut myself off from the past with like guitars and stuff like that. Now I just hit things. So
you still got my bass behind you.
Yeah, I've still got your bass. Which one is it? It's the one in the far corner behind the light. One. Yeah, the purple one. Yeah, so yeah, I just hit things. So tell me if it sounds good, like musicality wise, and then I'll just put the beat down.
Hit the wall.
Yeah, hit the wall. Whatever. Punch the ceiling. Whatever I need to make it sound good.
Kind of touching back on the last 2 songs that you guys have released, gone down really fairly well in Crimson Desire and Ronin. Have you guys kind of like noticed the slow progression within the band recently? Because you're relatively newcomers, up and coming. Have you noticed sort of like the appeal online for you guys yet? Like people turning up at your gigs and stuff like that. And if you have, how does that feel?
Humbling.
I can put a statistic down straight away, because I was interested in this at the very start of before we released Ronin and where we are now. Just to kind of give you a general statistic, we were barely hitting 2,000 on Instagram. On this date, we're just fluttering under 5,500. And that was how many months ago?
Wow. So when did you join? Late 2023, maybe.
Yeah.
So the kind of revamp of the band was with Stains of My Soul, which was 2024, but that was still a solo release for Rio from the last lineup. So around that time, and as much as I hate Spotify, it is quite a good metric to go off. It was quite readily visible, right? So we were sitting then at around 75 monthly listeners. Fast forward 12 months as a band, we're sitting, since the release of Crimson Desire, as of today, is 1,942, which is an incredible jump.
A massive jump.
Yeah, it's a huge jump. It was 2.4K, I think, last week when the song was still new. But we were really nervous when we went for this direction. It was a huge change of direction, especially for Rio. And we were all sitting there going, how is it gonna be received, especially with Ronin? When we're in the studio, I remember us going, we'll release them in an order we think is from weakest to the best, and we'll see how that goes. And ironically, Ronin was the most successful one. It was the one that kind of became I think it's safe to say, probably a staple in the sound of how it was received. In going, there's clearly a not to make it corporate, because it's not, it's all about music, but to be a businessman for a minute, there's a gap in the market for this kind of thing, and it is the one that's well received. But I don't think any of us expected that. If I'm honest, I mean, Ronin's sitting on nearly 9,000 streams on Spotify alone, which is incredible. And I think show-wise is difficult because the cost of living is insane for everyone, and tickets are expensive. Even your local shows have become expensive.
Yeah.
But for the metrics we have, a lot of our audience seems to be in America or overseas, where unfortunately we can't get to because we're all self-funded at the moment. So the shows are still fantastic. Like yesterday, we were told by the promoter, "Oh yeah, you sold like 2 tickets." We're like, "Oh, okay, fine, whatever. Let's do it. It's gonna have fun. It's gonna be a good show." And the place was packed. Like it was incredible. Like it was great. Everyone was so receiving. So I think there is slowly being an uptick in London for us, where the Rio played a lot.
Yeah. It's
And-
really changed there.
Yeah, I don't really have the words. It's humbling. It's incredible to see people come and talk to us, and it's one thing for your friends. It's another thing when it's someone from halfway up the country has gone, "I've come down the train to see you guys," and we're like, "Dude, come here. Let's have a drink. Let's fucking talk. This is incredible. Thank you."
It is nice. Yeah. It's because like when I used to play live with all the band members, like I don't think so many people show up, but like from this phase, like with the new members, like I saw like so many people came to see us, and it's really great. And I didn't expect like so many people like see us. Like we are really small, but I think our journey has been great. I guess. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah.
I love that. As like somebody who's known about you for a while, I think Ronan for me, like as a fan of you guys, that was what kind of was like, oh, I like this. I think what really hooked me for you guys was when you dropped Crimson Desire. I'm probably responsible for at least 1,000 listens on YouTube to that song.
Perfect. You could stay, sir.
So I really love it. Is there any plans? I know you said you were self-funded, so I know obviously money might be an issue as you're doing other things and booking gigs and stuff like that. Is there any plans maybe to release like a music video or anything for like Ronin or Crimson Desire in the future? Is that something you guys maybe have talked about?
Well, there is a live music video for Crimson Desire that's out. I think last week we put it out, so there's that. But it's cost, like everything,
Like
and
most things, yeah.
and we've discussed it many of time. And my personal mindset is I would rather front the money for the product, for the music, the studio time, than bust like half-ass that and then put a video out. It's just cost and time, and even with cost aside, it's the time where if I would do it ourselves, okay, now we've got to edit it, now we've got to sit down, and between like we all work full time, some of us have families and stuff. It's not feasible, and when you break it down, I think people would prefer a quality sound, a quality song to put on their playlist or listen to rather than a video. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, at some point, like it'll be great if you can do a music video. But at the moment, I think we focus on the music, like recording music. Obviously, like it costs a lot, and I know like I did music video for Guild before, and it was fun, so I want to do it. But yeah, obviously, like it's expensive to do.
Yeah. And like the other said, realistically, what do we want to give the guys? Do we want to? And again, I guess it's kind of part selfish as a band. Do we want to still keep playing the same songs that we are at the moment, which are good, or do we want to start playing some new stuff? And obviously, people are going to want to hear that. And like James and Rio have said, recording doesn't come cheap. So do we prioritize product before visual? And then eventually do the visual just as a release, then yeah, we will do that. But I think the main thing is the music drive to get you guys to hear what we've been working on, if we've been working on anything.
Have we, Jay?
No, I've not received anything for a while
Nothing
now.
at all. Weird.
Why haven't
Oh no.
I received anything?
Oh, there I thought I was going to get the scoop.
Why
But
you
Jay,
like this?
tell me more. No.
No.
Out of all your songs so far that you guys have been involved in, which one's like the most personal to you? Like, which one you've created so far that you're like, this one really stands out for me, either because you were new or it has a particular message in the song?
Personally, I like all of our tracks, but realistically, I'll probably speak for everybody, and we'll hand this over to James.
Okay. Yeah, I love all the songs, but Violets is the most personal one. So that was written, it was actually written about my grandma, who I was very, very close with, and she died a couple of years ago. And I was a fucking, thank you. I was a fucking mess. Like Rio will like all of you will tell you. Like, and it was one of those songs that had to be written. I think the lyrics when I wrote them, it's probably. It couldn't take me more than a day to write. The words were there, right? You know, sometimes they just came out, and I remember crying at them when I read them. And then I said to Ria, I was like, I need you to help me write this song, because I'm not very good when it comes to composition. I'm good at taking certain parts and, you know, rewriting bass lines, but a whole composition I'm not good at. And anyway, she goes away and then she hands me this demo. And again, I couldn't stop crying, like just hearing the words come to life and the emotion. And if you've heard the song, it's very contrasting to the rest. You've got this story that is effectively about loss and grief and denial and depression, and it's all encapsulated in the aggressive guitars that you know, I worked with John and Rio extensively on, the beautiful harmonies, the melodies, the pianos, and it just came together, just perfectly encapsulated it. It didn't perform as well as everything else, but it was one of those songs that's like, I don't care if one person listens to it. This is a staple for it. Like, this is coming out, like it or fucking not. This is being done, and whenever we play it live, you will listen to Rio and you will get your phones out and you will put the light on, and it will be a beautiful moment. And when it happens, and we've had some great audiences do it, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I remember the first time we played it live, I actually struggled playing it because everyone lit up the room, and I was just fucking. I think I turned around to Jay at one point. I was like, "Help me! I just fucking can't play. It's just crying."
Yeah, and I'm looking at him going, "Play the fucking right parts."
I don't know what I'm doing.
You're playing the wrong bloody note again.
Shut up. That never happens. I'm a professional.
It's weird how that comes across though, because you always think of like songs as like a music as like a happy output, but it's something like strangely beautiful, like about, you know, really dark, sad things sometimes.
A lot of our songs are about.
No,
yeah, I think for me, that song, when I hear that kind of intro to it, where you got the doon 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 doon, and then you got that guitar that goes, that always gives me that little bit of a shiver, because obviously I know the synopsis of this song and the meaning behind it, and you know, people that are seeing it for the first time, they're like, "Oh, it's a bit of a slow song. This is not like the previous one." No. But again, it's that there's, you know, some proper deep meaning behind that song. But again, you know, when you play it live, it sounds different to when obviously you're listening to it on your favorite platform. But it's always a special song to play, and it's one that I'm always telling myself, don't fuck up.
I tell myself that all the time.
Yes.
Like that song especially, like my nan was the type of woman that just hijacked this for a minute, that when I went to her funeral, she'd written her own eulogy. She saw it all out, she'd written it all, and then my dad stood up and spoke it. And there's one line in there that I put in of it, and it was life is for living, so get on and live it. And that kind of encapsulates the song in essence of, it's so whiplashy and how heavy it is and how soft it is, and the lyrics take you back and forth. But that one line there, if there's one thing that song takes away, is be sad, remember them, but get on with it. Like you can't stay in that rut forever. You have to carry them with you and take everything they've taught you, and just be the best you can and move on as best you can. Sorry, that got really sad.
No. Hugs to you, bro.
Yeah, sorry.
It's a beautiful song.
Sip your tea.
There we go. I'll try to we'll try to lift up the mood a little bit with a bit of fisticuffs here. As I know from being in a couple of bands myself, you don't always get along with your bandmates and all that sometimes. But when you guys have a clash of creative output, how do you guys deal with it?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were going to say who is the worst person in the band. Sorry, my bad.
I'm the worst person, worst evil, definitely.
100%, yeah, 100%.
Definitely. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I hijacked the question, buddy. Sorry, can you repeat that again?
I said, obviously being in a band, sometimes you don't always get on with the person that you're with all the time. How, when it comes to creative differences, like if you want to do one thing and James might want to do another, or your real says, "Oh, let's do this." How do you guys come to a middle ground when you're creating the song sometimes, or does somebody take the lead like Rio?
I try to lead, but I'm not, I'm not good at leading. But it's really tough because there are three great musicians, and some like so for me, my rough demo sounds like a perfect, but like James like, oh, bass is horrible. Jay's like,
I've never said that.
We've got it on record, James.
yeah. And then Jay's like, what the fuck are you like doing? Like, drum patterns, like how? Like, I don't have like a 3 or 4 arms. And then Alex is like, oh, guitar is so shit. Like, I don't know. He didn't say.
True.
And, like, he didn't say. Sorry, like it was hallucination. Yeah, it was fiction. Okay, so yeah, but it's really tough. But like we always like we always listen to that demo, and then Alex like put like his guitar ideas, like we listen to it, and then we are like, okay, we like it. Maybe like this part of like it, but this part we are not sure. So maybe like you can do like something maybe different, and so we try to like experiment until we agree. Like yeah, the songs like a song. Yeah.
And like I said, I just hit things. So if they're having an argument between the three of them, I just kind of stay out the group chat and just drink Jack
Which
Daniels.
isn't helpful. Isn't helpful because you still got to listen and go. Do you know what? As a listener of this song, I like this. I like that.
Don't get me wrong. I will say if it sounds good or if it doesn't sound good.
No.
But if you're gonna start arguing if it's in F or in G sharp or G flat or A, then I'm gonna zone out. I'm sorry, I ain't got time for that.
No. 2 days ago, so
ain't my job, bruv. Sorry.
No. 2 days ago. So Alex gave us like his guitar ideas, and it's really great. And then he was like, okay, so let me hear your like thoughts. So James and I, gave him like feedback. Someone's like, okay, I'm at work. I'm gonna check it later.
Valid reason.
It didn't happen.
Again, let's rewind back to what James said earlier on. Sometimes Jay forgets.
No, Jay always forget.
I
think maybe in 5 days he doesn't remember my name.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Steve. We'll have the next question, please.
All right. I wanted to keep this within. I said before we were started, I'll keep this between 40 minutes to an hour. We're on an hour and a half now.
Wow.
Which is kind of like
that went
how much.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm going to fire you a couple of questions from some of my subscribers that are aimed at you.
Yes. Next question.
Answer them how you want to. One of the first questions is, what's been the biggest challenge for Rio as a band, and how did you guys overcome it?
Soho.
Oh my god! Fucking shit.
No, I don't mean.
I feel like there needs to be an explanation for this one.
100%.
Jay, all yours, man.
Okay, I'm going to take this one. So again, this is my immediate reaction, and that was spur of the moment. I didn't have that planned. So Soho was probably one of the most stressful situations I've ever been in my life. So we were playing a show in Soho. There we go. So anyway. I can't remember what time we had to be there, but the long and the short of it is me, Rio, and James all packed my car up. We headed down to London to meet John, the guitarist, at his place, and then pick up his stuff as well, and then drive to Soho. Nice and easy. That wasn't the plan to begin with. That changed lastminute.com. It was supposed to be just me, James, Rio, straight to the venue. Anyway, fast forward to the day. We get there. We stop outside. My car then decides, after I've turned it off, it's not going to start again. So we're sat outside his house, his flat, for ages. And I'm thinking, we're just going to let the engine cool down, and then we'll click it over, and off we pop. That didn't happen.
10 minutes goes past. Half hour goes past. An
hour goes past. Yeah.
2 hours goes past.
An Uber then turns up, or 2 Ubers. We're chucking stuff in the car. Rio and John go in his car. Me and James fly off in the Uber. Luckily enough, we just had breakables with us, so we didn't have a full drum kit or anything like that. Anyways, so we get into Soho. And I don't know if you've ever tried to get in Soho before, but oh my God, that's my first and last time I'm ever driving into Soho. That is just ridiculous.
And you didn't drive in there.
Exactly. I'm just sat in the passenger seat of this Uber driver looking at my watch going, we're not going to make it. So anyway, we get there. We have a bit of time before we're on our allocated slots.
We have exactly 5 minutes before we're going on stage.
That was beforehand. We were probably there about 15 minutes beforehand, but there was no John, there was no Rio at all. And we're looking at the clock going, we're literally going on, and they've got like 3 songs left, and we're on. So at this point, there's no line check. We've got obviously all of us set up. So all in ears, the Mac, the click track, the backing track, everything not checked at all. So we're at the point downstairs getting dressed, and we're like, where are the others? At this point, Rio's been dropped off. John had to go and find somewhere to park.
No, so like I had like some excuse. Sorry. Not excuse. Excuse.
I gotta execute somebody.
Yeah. I would love to. So no.
Wow.
So
that came from nowhere.
Yeah. So John was driving, and he was using his phone's map, and he's like, "Okay, I set the map up," and we are like, "Oh, we're going to be arriving maybe in 5 minutes. Oh, it's great." But it was like, I can't see the venue. I told John, he's like, I can't see venue. Is it the correct address? And he was like, yeah. And I Google it. Yeah, I searched it on my Google map. It was different. It's like a different map showed up. And I was like, oh my God.
Didn't he take you sightseeing or something like that around London? He's like
past Houses
of Parliament and stuff like that. And we were like, where are you? It's like, yeah, we're going to be like 30 minutes. And we're like, we don't have 30 minutes. Seriously.
Yeah. No.
So,
yeah. You were
crazy. Luckily, it wasn't our first show as a band, and it wasn't sold out or anything. It was great.
No, yeah, right. Which is completely polar opposite. But yeah, anyway, so the back end of the story was, so John drops his car off. He's running the whole way back. He's got about 30 seconds to get dressed, get on stage, plug in, and then play. Luckily enough, I have no idea how we did it, but we did it, and we smashed it. But it was, I think that's got to be the worst.
So stressful.
Yeah, I think that's the worst one. For me, anyway, mentally. I mean, just like sitting there going, right, everything's ready. Are we good? Can you hear anything? Play. Just click play and just go.
The best thing about that is that was the first time we were using in-ear monitors live and like wireless systems and stuff like that. So we were like, oh, we'll get there early. We'll check them, make sure it's still. Nah.
And we left so early as well, and it wasn't an excuse like we were running late. Whenever we do anything in London, especially like we did yesterday, we didn't have to be there until like 5 o'clock. We left Maidenhead at like 1:30 to kind of get into London. And I guess with the saving graces in a negative way, whichever way you look at it, obviously the protest was going on at the time. So we were able to get into London literally within an hour, which is like
We were like 2 hours early for
Yeah.
loading.
it was the most crazy, almost like a zombie apocalypse. There was hardly anybody around.
It was
And
great.
I was just like, I was driving through, just going, I should not be driving at like 20 miles an hour. I should be nose to nose with like 20,000 cars in front of me. But it was clear, so I was like, I'll take that as a win.
Yeah.
Nice. I love that story, and you still smashed it as well. That's pretty brilliant.
Yeah, man.
You'll
that was
know
a good show.
if you'll see like any clips from that show, like on our Instagram page or anything, you'll notice at John's feet there's a Tesco bag full of wires because we didn't have time to like rip that stuff off stage. So we're just doing this whole set of just like wires and bags and gear just around us. Going, yeah, we're professional, promise.
Yeah.
But we still
Yeah.
played it like we've been there for hours. So I guess that just goes to show how because we did a lot of sessions, and we do a lot of sessions before we do anything at my place here. So we knew the setup, what needed to be plugged in, what needed to be where. I guess at that point, like any artist, you're literally just handing yourself over to the engineer on the night and just saying, this cable does this does that, balance mix for the in-ears, thanks very much, let's play.
I love that.
Yeah, the highlight of the day, it was James
end.
broke door handle from like Jay's car.
Oh yeah, you ripped the handle off my car because we stopped at McD's on the way back. You were so aggressive.
No, I
Pulling
didn't
the
rip
door
it off.
handle off.
No, I went to open your door and it came off in my hand. So I've got my McDonald's in one hand and I'm just like at 3 a.m, like, Jay.
Literally,
What
a
happened?
monkey gorilla pulled that thing off like it was a piece of tissue.
Have
Straight
you guys ever seen a door handle come off a car before? Because I
Never
fucking had
seen
it
it.
before that day. And what was even more impressive was how Jay rolled his eyes, got out, and within 10 minutes fixed it. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, no tools, no nothing, just fucking basically went over there, spat on it, and went, you fucking stay on.
Pretty much, yeah.
Have you actually taken that to a garage since, or is it still your job that fixed it?
No, man, I fixed it myself. I'm a dad.
DIY.
So
DIY
I'm a man.
musician.
I don't use manuals. I use common sense and just pure will.
Common sense.
Bro, I'm gonna slap you above your head next time I see you.
All right, we've got another question as well. This one's directed at each of you. If you could collaborate with any artist or band, Japanese or international, who would it be and why?
Mick Gordon. I love him.
I love that answer.
The
I agree,
Doom
I agree.
soundtrack, 100%. Fucking love it. Mick Gordon.
Got the Doom chair here. I love that.
Yeah, I did notice, and I was like,
So I love that. What about for you? What about for the rest of you guys? Alex, who would you like to collaborate with if you ever could?
I, apart from metal and punk and stuff like that, I also like hip hop quite a lot. So like some rappers, like I would always be open to collaborations and anything like that, really. But I love the Me Golden thing, so I also agree with James.
That's a hell of a suggestion. They go, Jay. You got James to beat.
Right. I'm gonna be really sad. I don't. Do you know what? There is a lot of artists that I would love to obviously work with. Some of them obviously being my idols. So Dave Grohl, obviously, I would love to do a track with him. 100%. Big fan of Muse. Would love to do a track with Matt Bellamy because I just think he's an amazing guitarist. And I wouldn't have an interview without me at least mentioning this band once. Something with Sleep Token.
Yeah, I hear Sleep Token mentioned a lot actually with people that want to collaborate with them. Just seem to be one of those bands I think people tend to gravitate towards.
if you listen to a lot of Jay's drumming, there's a lot. It's almost like there's a lot of inspiration in every song of ours from them.
No.
It's always slipped in. It's always slipped
No,
in.
there is not. You
in
lie.
any small little bit, just always slipped in.
No.
What about you, Rio? Who would you be your dream collaboration?
Maybe Bad Omens, Nine Inch Nails. Also, the other day I had a dream of collaborating with Youngblood, so maybe Youngblood, and maybe Justin Timberlake.
That would be an interesting one.
That's random. Yeah.
Oh, anyway, I used to listen to him a lot. Yeah, like sexy back, yay, or something like that. Yeah, it's really good.
That's the
yeah.
most less sexy back
Yeah.
I've ever
No,
heard.
no, no, no.
Uh,
Because you're not sure. Maybe like kids will watch this show, so I try not to be like sexy. Like I try not to like put sexy emotions. So I'm
okay,
thinking-
but swearing's okay.
Oh, it depends. It depends on my moods, but I think so. Yeah, but yes.
If it makes you feel any better, the my channel's programmed to adults only, so
Okay.
So we're okay, Rhea. You can bring the sexy on.
you can bring the sexy on. You can bring the
Sexy.
sexy back. Too.
Hey.
Sexy back. Yay. Ah. Yeah, so just so Justin Timberlake actually.
Rah.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite like singers.
You,
So
you just need to combine that now. I need to see a Mick Gordon Justin Timberlake collaboration with you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That would be interesting.
yeah.
Like, that would be interesting in a good way, I reckon.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like a Mick Gordon's like a heavy guitar, and then maybe Justin Timberlake like yeah. I use something.
I feel like Rio's already answered this question with "sexy back," but what are each of your guilty pleasure song?
Oh.
Oh, where is it? Did we have this? I feel like I've answered this one recently. I need to find it again though.
Yeah, I think for me, one of my guilty pleasure songs, as much as I don't necessarily like to listen to it, and especially recently, and you'll understand the reason why for that. It was a very close song to myself when I was younger. Again, back to my singing days with my nan, and that is the song "Defying Gravity." The original Indisa Mendel's, I probably said her name wrong. I do apologize. Just her version of it. Every time I hear the intro to that song, yeah, even talking about it now, massive flashbacks and always brings up memory. But that's one of my guilty. One of my least, and I will say this, is anything by Celine Dion. Sorry, I said it.
That's cool.
James.
I can't remember what I said last
Okay,
time. I
Alex.
asked this. I'm
Does
trying to find
Alex?
Go on, Alex. Guilty
For
pleasure
me.
song.
Guilty pleasure, that is going to be a very cringy answer, and it's going to be Butterfly.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it?
Come, my lady. You're
You're my butterfly, sugar.
Hey. Such a sexy, pretty little thing.
I hate the lyrics, but the music is just...
I give you the music. At least you didn't go for something like Huberstank.
No, please. Come on.
Yeah, okay.
You know me. You know
You
me,
got standards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess when that song came out, I just thought of another one that I have actually, and that's in the same genre. And that's Puddle of Mud. Blurry.
Ooh.
I did like that song quite a lot when it first came out. But anyway, sorry.
Did you find anything?
I can't find the proper
Okay.
one, but I do have one that is going to make a lot of people go, "What the fuck, bro?" I'm actually quite a big fan of Nickelback. I actually think
I like
fucking
Nickelback.
I think they're fucking fantastic. But
I do not understand the hate that band gets. I really don't.
Same, bro.
yeah,
I love the band.
Silver Side Up album. Fuck me, that shit is good. But Guilty Pleasure wise, Lullaby by them. I think that's such a powerful song, and it's so fucking good.
I have to admit, I've never been a big fan, but I've not heard that song.
It was off of the Here and Now album. So it wasn't like one of their biggest albums, but fantastic.
Was it the one that they did for Spider-Man? I like that one.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so.
When they say when a hero
Here.
not gonna stand in your way.
I
don't think it's the same album. I don't think so.
I don't think it was on the album.
No,
it
was a bit older, I think.
Here and Now 2011.
2011.
Yeah, I think I also have like the 1975 Pale Waves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know that lead singer from the 1975 is not good.
So for me, this will make you laugh. I've always loved this song. Absolutely jammed to it every time it comes on. But Blur, Park Life. It's just
Bro,
Park
Oh.
life.
song.
Why is
I've
this
actually got I've got a story about Blur actually that not many people know. Back in my college days, one of my friend's friend, her dad was a chauffeur driver, and he had a job on. And my friend turned around and said, "Look, I'm going to go see a band this weekend. Do you want to come? Free tickets. The bass players put us on the guest bill. Give my dad a couple of VIP guest lists if you want to come." And I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, why not?" So anyway, I turned up to Langley train station. Her dad picks me up in the old chauffeur-driven car, and off we pop into London. Turns out we're outside the Astoria, I think it was. Side door opens up. It's fucking I can't remember his name. Bass player from Blur. Is it Alex? Or is that the drummer? Anyway, he opens up the door. Go in, see Blur live, and then at the end of the show, we ended up at the End Club in London for the after party, and I was chatting to Damon Albarn whilst he was downing a bottle of champagne Magnum.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Wow, really?
most randomest thing, but yeah, that was it. That was a good night. That was. I don't remember much because the drinks were free and I was just literally at the bar the whole time. But yeah, that was a really good thing.
I think that's a good way to kick off the next question. I got three more left, and then we'll end it there. So, what was the first concert you guys ever went to?
Oh, okay. So for me, apart from local shows, small like punk or core shows, the first like international band that I've seen when I was 14, 15 maybe was Paradise Lost. Weird enough. And it was a great show. It was in Milan in a club that doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, great show.
Nice. I like that. What about you guys? What was the first concert you guys went to?
I know what my first concert should have been, and that was Korn back in the day at Brixton. Brixton Academy. And we're talking probably 97, I think it was 98, around about that time. So obviously from Blind and all the rest of that era. But they cancelled literally on the night just before the doors opened. So I spent the rest of that night in hospital because my friend had decided to down 2 bottles of vodka and cut her arm open, which was fun. But my
I imagine.
yeah, right. And then my first proper gig was Bush, which was 2 weeks after that.
Oh.
What about you, James?
So mine was Bullet for My Valentine's Temper Temper tour. So that was when they came to Birmingham. Because, like I said, I kind of got into music kind of late in my life. So me and a couple of friends, they were like, "Oh, do you want to come see Bullet with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, they're all right. Yeah, let's go see them." And I was like, you know, one of those bands you're like, yeah, you listen to them if they come on, but you don't really follow them. So I went along, and then I saw them. Like, they're incredible live, by the way. Bullet for My Valentine, fantastic live. And that kind of solidified me as being like, actually, I'm going to listen to them more. But yeah, Bullet for My Valentine's Temper Temper tour. Who else was on the bill? There was someone else before them. I can't remember who it was. But yeah, it was good. It's a really good show.
What about you, Reed? What was your first concert?
So I have so my first Japanese concert is Morning Musume. It's a Japanese idols. Yeah, it was a kid, and my first like a Western concert was it was like a 3 indie bands. They're like one of them from like Canada, one of them from the US, one of them from the UK. The British band is called like the Bishops, and they're not popular, but they're really good. But Canadian band, I really like them, but I listened to them lately. Shit, it wasn't good.
I mean,
don't know.
don't sugarcoat that off, will you? Now, I mean,
I
mean,
don't know.
Sounds like you
guys.
really feel. Fuck.
Okay. No, I just like I don't know why I like them. That like they just shout like like everywhere. I don't know why. Like I like them, but yeah, that was like a fast show. Yeah.
All right, second to last question. This one is kind of gauged at you all. It's how did Alex joining on guitar sort of like evolve your sound compared to the original lineup?
I don't want to answer because I've spoken lots.
Those are
So,
It's kind of what I touched on earlier because and it's Alex gets to sit here and go, oh, they're going to speak nice things about me.
Not gonna happen, bro.
yeah, I know you guys.
No, to be fair, Alex is very complimentary to the style we're going for, and he's got a lot of experience. You know, it's one thing to be able to like kind of what you said, Alex. It's one thing to be able to play a chugging riff. You know, let's face it, and no disrespect to anyone can do that. Like, if you couldn't, bassists wouldn't exist on a low level. But I think it's the intricacies of his knowledge of melodies and being able to work with Rio on the top layers of the music, which was previously missing, that adds another dimension to it. And his sheer experience with his instrument also trickles down and works with mine as well. So not only is he able to make the top ends and the synths and the vocal melodies pop more, but when it comes to discussing how to anchor it, or we've got a heavier section here, what should we do together, and how do we make it work, it really shines there as well with his knowledge and understanding. Not giving too much away, there's a song we're working on at the minute where he's like, oh, we could play this original riff as written, or I could do some clever shit like this, and I'm like, I fucking like that. We need to consider this and this and this. So then it's kind of ripping a lot of things apart, and it's actually approaching things from another direction that we would never have thought of before for a guitar, because we're not guitarists. The contrary to popular belief, bass and guitar are very different instruments, guys. They do very different things. So the mentality between two players very different. So I think the intricacy, knowledge, and just understanding of his instrument and what our band's sound is, it helps. It just brings the guitar to a whole new level within the band.
Yeah. He understand Alex understand like the song like direction. Like unfortunately, most of the guitar players have ego.
All of them. All of them.
So they're like,
Me
yeah.
included.
No, I'm not saying like about you. So I was really surprised. No. I was really surprised. So when we are working on the songs, and Alex, like play like a soft guitar, like a melody, and James said, maybe like you can like chug it, and Alex like, I think it's gonna be too much. I was like, oh, really? Because like, so many guitar players are chugging or like a wow, like a solo, and it's like trying to take the song with like, trying to cover the songs with like guitar. But like Alex is like, okay, like I know like what the song's going for. So he's like, he really like understands the song, and he's like good at melodies. Yeah. So I'm not trying to say something like bad about it, but I just like in general, like most of the.
I mean, there's loads of stuff we could say bad about him, but we're just...
Yeah. Oh, are we having that session? All right, where to start?
No. Because I'd rather wait until I see him and I tell him straight to his face.
Yeah, that was so man.
That was so menacing, James.
Like I said to him yesterday, I don't like the way he hugs me and says goodbye or hello, because he crouches down because he's taller than me. He literally squats down and hugs me like I'm a 2-year-old child. It's like I'm gonna sock you in the jaw.
Because okay, so most of the people don't know, but Jay is a fan size
Ladies and gentlemen, she is right. I am fun size.
.com.
Don't go to that website.
Yeah. Stay away from the J fans, right? Club. No one wants to see that.
I'm going to stick that on the thumbnail of this video. Fun size.
Yeah,
Fun
funsize.com. Yeah, click
I think
here.
an interesting question would be for Alex to answer this question, and what Alex thinks that he brings that may have previously been missing from what he heard.
Alex, justify your role.
Yeah, that's wow.
Hang on. Let me get a pen and paper.
Yeah, well, I've got to record this on my phone.
No, I agree with the. Yeah, please record it. Like, I agree with the guys. I can shred for sure. Shredding is fun, but like, the reason why I love working with Rio is that different approach. Actually, coming from like metal and stuff like that, it's very often is based on like riffing and riffing and riffing and riffing, solo, riffing again. I got a bit tired of it. It's a bit boring. Like, I love metal, and I find that like the vast majority of new songs, new releases are pretty boring. I don't know. Like, I'm interested in songs. I'm interested in creating a new song rather than focusing on just the guitar part. Of course, like, I love riffing. Like, whenever I have the chance, I love having fun like every other guitarist, but like, songs are my goal, actually. It's also a work in progress, like working with a new band. Like, I'm basically the new member of the band. Takes time, and I'm sure that like the way we're working now is going to be different from the way we're going to work in 2 or 3 years' time. So I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. Good answer. Well presented.
Thank you.
You get to keep your role.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we'll renew the contract.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a whole folder of riffs and solos that I'm going to send you. I'm going to force you to put in the new songs. Have I mentioned that?
So you don't need to force your solos into new songs. Already there.
Do it.
If anyone's seen Guild live, by the way, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Indeed.
All right, we'll end this on the
Sounds
last
good,
question. And I want to apologize for this one because this is not mine. This is from the people. This is actually from a guy called Chris, who I believe you guys had the pleasure of meeting yesterday. I am so fucking sorry for this. His question was, does Rio dance on the sand?
Of course, we fucking asked that question. And having met Chris and spoken to him at many a show, go fuck yourself. No. Chris is a lovely.
I love that answer. There you go, Chris.
Chris is a lovely. In all seriousness, Chris is a lovely guy actually, and he's come to a majority of our shows, and we're forever grateful. And I always love our conversations. So thank you.
He has ever since I told him I was interviewing you guys, he has non-stop spammed me to ask that question every single day.
I believe it. no, Chris, I believe it.
To actually answer a part of that question, I don't think, Rio, you've actually been on a beach in the UK.
Yes, there's a beach in the UK. We played in Brighton.
No, I mean a sandy beach, you moron.
I didn't specify that, did you?
Otherwise, the question would have been, does she dance on rocks? I mean, come on.
Sir, pebbles.
The question clearly states, does she dance on the sand?
I mean, I can try it, but just like, I can't swim.
We're willing to try this. If anybody wants to fund a trip to a beach, we'll do a music video just for you.
Yeah, we can do that. But like, I just don't like so I don't like swimming. I don't like it because like when I was a kid, I almost drowned, and that was like a traumatized. And then so I mean, I can dance. I used to do like a ballet, but
You can dance if you want to.
On the sound. So
Wherever.
problem is like on the sound. If you try to dance, you know, you can't. It's really hard, like dance. It's really hard to move. So I don't know, like if I can do like a moonwalk or like
Sandwalk.
yeah, sand walk, yeah, yeah. But
You
I
could
don't
do
know
the
if
snail.
Can you, though, Rio, walk without rhythm?
walk
Can
the
you
moon.
walk without rhythm?
If I
Girl, you spent half your life playing June at one point. What the fuck?
okay, no, if I have a click sound, yes.
Just use your hands.
No.
All right, I think we're gonna leave that here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. It's been an absolute pleasure to have all of you as well. If you're watching this on YouTube as well, guys, the link is in the description down below for Rio's YouTube as well as their other links. Go and follow them if you enjoyed this one. Go and support them. Go and watch their music videos, all that stuff. And yeah, don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe on this video and on their own personal channels and stuff as well. Is there anything that you guys want to say to anybody watching this before we close off?
Oh well, from my side, as always, thanks to yourself and to all of our fans and family that come see our shows and support us and put up with just us in general. We know it's not easy sometimes when we take time out and do random things away from family. But obviously we appreciate you all and we can't wait to see you again.
That's a lovely message. Thank you for
Thank you.
joining, guys. Take care.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys next time.
See you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Hey.